What's up, YouTube family? Your boy back again with some more true fact. Now, today's topic I want to talk about are black people being killed to have their organ harvest. Now, this is a major concern that's going unnoticed because you have a lot of black brutalities that that parents or loved ones are getting their loved ones back and finding out that their organs are missing. And this is big because you have the same case that happened with Trayvon Martin. It took him, it took his parents 3 whole days for the police to tell them where their son's body at. And then when they returned, he was missing organs. And we just had more recently, events that just occurred as well. Now, I want to go into this report here on Urban Intellectuals. And this article states, is the illegal harvesting of black people organs going unnoticed? Because we got to bring this up to the surface. This is major genocide, depopulation, what they're doing to the blacks and the minorities. And we must bring it to the attention because we have to do something about it. If we don't, we're going to continue to be knocked off one by one. And this article goes on to say, illegal organ harvesting is big business. People are taking their organs and body parts stolen from rich people who require them for themselves, relatives or friends, so one's life lost and another possibly saved. There has been a belief that black Americans are being picked off one by one to take the organs and then stage the death as an accident or a suicide. Infinity laid out just a few of the deaths that have had suspicious circumstances and alleged organ theft. These include 14-year-old Jason Smith was found dead in a lake on June 6, 2011, and his death was ruled a drowning accident by the coroner's report in Louisiana. Despite all of his vital organs missing from his body, Smith's family is suspicious that his case was covered up because they believe that one of Smith's murderers is the son of an FBI agent. A petition was called for a further investigation into Smith's death, but it struggled to gain a few hundred signatures because they actually don't want you to know about the big business because it is selling. Black people organs is high in demand on the market, and because black people are not willing to donate their organs, so they're gonna take them, and this is what they're doing. This is major genocide, and we need to bring it to the light. Major genocide. Now, I want to go into another report here, and it's on AfricanAmerican.org. And this report reads, Selling Black Children's Organs. Organ harvesting has been going on for years in the United States of America and also in other countries like India, Brazil, Kenya, Ethiopia, and etc. Places where the populations are melanin rich. These are actual facts. Please believe me. Considering how many black people are being murdered each day in this country, even black children, black families better start demanding proof from hospital and medical examiners that all their deceased organs are accounted for. Because this is major business to them. Major. Okay, we have here Saturday, October 12, 2013. Mary Anderson, mother of organ theft victim. Mom. And this is what she had reported. This is what she stated. They stole my son's brain, the 51-year-old painter, who died in 2012 at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital of complications from a lung condition, was allegedly a hollowed-out shell by the time he was lowered into the ground, stripped for parts like a junkyard Chevy. Highly melanated people are in demand for organs. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. And then you have here Clayton Lockett, 38, died at a butch execution in Oklahoma on April 29, 2014. His body was released to his lawyer for autopsy, minus some of its organs. The Guardian reported Lockett wrenched, groaned, and attempted to speak during the execution on the 29th of April. He died 43 minutes after the execution began of what Corrections Director Robert Patton said appeared to be a massive heart attack. A private doctor conducted an autopsy on behalf of the lawyers, but the heart and the lungs were missing, said David Autry, an attorney for Lockett. This has been big business, y'all. Big business. Before we discuss recent deaths of other black men and boys whose organs were stolen, let us consider that Trayvon Martin organs were also missing, which is a video that they had up for, but they took it down because they don't want you to know this. But if you can see, that is the link to the video, which I will place down in the description. Breaking news: the body of another murdered young black man was found with missing organ. Atlanta man found dead and missing organs in California desert. A Georgia woman is searching for answers after her 24-year-old son was found dead in Death Valley, California, with several of his internal organs missing. Iris Flowers' sons, Ryan Singleton, had left Atlanta back in July to pursue his dream to become a Hollywood actor. Sadly, the dream was cut short when he went missing during a trip to Las Vegas, and eventually was found dead by jogging on September 21st in the desert near Baker, Calif. This is big business. These people are knocking them out one by one. Organ harvesting is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. That is why you see a lot of kidnaps also going down, because they're taking you up and breaking you down and taking you to the chop shop. This is exactly what they're doing. They breaking you down and taking you to the chop shop and selling your parts off. And this is going unnoticed, but we have to bring it to the table today. You have here Kendrick Johnson, 17, was found dead in a Georgia high school. Authorities said he was trapped upside down in a high school wrestling mat in January 2013. Kendrick was reported missing by his parents when he didn't come home from school. His body was found the next day in a rolled up mat in his high school gym. Mm-mm-mm. Police said Kendrick apparently fell in while reaching for a shoe and suffocated in the thick paddling Kendrick's family never believed he died accidentally. Kendrick's parents recently learned Kendrick's parents recently learned their son was buried without his organ. I'm sorry. Kendrick's parents recently learned their son was buried without his organ. Kendrick's organs were harvested and his body was stuffed with newspaper. They had Kendrick's body exhumed and examined by an independent medical examiner who identified a wound to Kendrick's neck that indicated murder. Who has Kendrick's organs today? Who need his heart, kidney, lungs, and other organs? Kendrick is probably not the first black child to be killed and his organs removed. I feel strongly that is why they want everybody's DNA or American black children organs being harvested for transplant. Mm. People are tired of waiting in long lines for years trying to get a heart or organ or something because the white people are dying or whatever. No, they need it now. It don't matter who, white, black, they all need them. They don't got time to wait in line. They need it now. So it's in demand that they must get it now. They need it now. This is Jason Smith. This is getting out of control. Out of control. This is getting out of control. This is out of control. And you can go and read further into the report because I will leave a link in the description so you can go read more into it yourself. But for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it moving right along. And I want to go here to another article. And this article is on thisandthat.com, which I will leave a link in the description for, so you guys can go check it out on your own time. And this article states, organ harvesting, are black people being killed for their organs? Dick Gregory thought so. And it is a video that I'm going to link in that I am going to put up right now to show you guys the video which Dick Gregory is going into details more about it. And I think he actually did a movie, movie regarding it too. And this report was put out in 2017, September 26, 2017. And this article states, drive-by shooting is organ stealing. This is how the late, great former comedian turned social justice and health advocate Dick Gregory opens the film clip that speaks on the reality of organ harvesting. Never one to mice words, he is one of the many to present this frightening, sad, horrific yet believable reality, especially as justice posed to the morality rate of black people, men in particular. In today's intense social climate, in fact, it brings a lot of yesterday's incident into clear perspective. A number of people obviously knowledgeable about my background sent me this video. And this was sent by Brother Howard, Jocelyn, and Anthony. Many people who have organ donor listed their driver's license did so because they believe it is the right thing to do, the compassionate thing to do. But according to the video, this very omission shows as a pink dot displayed on your driver's license as donor is believed to make you a moving target. Those in the video suggest that instead of having this on your license, where officials such as police officers will have access to this information. The video promotes the idea that black people organs are high in demand. And a brother speaking at the top of the video and throughout lays out a scenario about research being done by someone who has been paid to see which black folks are registered to donate their organs in the event of their demise.
Drive-by shootings is organ stealing.
I'm worth $50 million and I need a kidney. And you know, kidneys are pretty sensitive. You gotta find somebody who really got the kidney that matches yours. You think I'm gonna wait till somebody die for me to get one? If I don't get one soon, I'm gonna die. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay somebody to go research people. Okay, let's go look at all the black organ donors. Let's look at all the black people who got organ donor on their driver's license, which is why I'm not a friend of that. I say, if you wanna donate your organs, put it in your will. Say that if I die, this can go to my family, my relatives, my friends, or whomever. But when you put it on your license, I believe you make yourself a public target. And so what did they find? We got a guy in Los Angeles. He has the same blood type as you, same kidney type as you likely. He healthy though, he ain't likely to die no time soon. He don't know you, so he ain't gonna give you no organ for free. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he was in a car accident. We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he committed suicide. So the next thing you know, you coming out the gas station, boom, you get hit by a Mack truck, you dead, gone. You get taken to the funeral home, your family come to the funeral, they don't know that before your body got laid to rest, a little hole was poked and they pulled your kidney out.
A lot of people don't know, when you get arrested or even when you get convicted, a lot of times law enforcement or police will swab your mouth for DNA. And now they have your DNA record on file, they have your genetic information on file. And you have to understand, with law enforcement, a lot of times they'll sell your information to tabloids and especially celebrities. They sell their information to tabloids and magazines and news outlets all the time. So it's not a stretch to believe that they won't use your DNA or your genetic information for nefarious reasons.
You, my son. Cops come by and inform me you just been shot dead. You don't have jurisdiction over that body. That's the coroner. You can't get that body till the coroner release you. So we'll get released, we go down and pick it up, and I see all these cuts and these stitches. I just thought they was doing a routine investigation, following the fact. I didn't know they took your organs. I'm under all this stress, my son is dead. Now you buried now, I can't dig you up because the court got to have permission. Most of those cases is organ stealing.
It's been known for a long time, even back in slavery times, that black organs were considered superior genetically to other folks' organs. For example, whenever there's a transplant, okay, especially when rich folks get heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, they like white, they like black organs. We had a famous case in Pennsylvania, Governor Casey, who was one of the most racist governors who ever lived back in the late 80s, early 90s. He had a heart transplant. Guess who heart they gave him? a black person's heart.
Down in Georgia, there was a case of an African-American 17-year-old kid who was found mysteriously dead at school. He died in the gym. They did an autopsy and they buried him. His family, they weren't satisfied with the results because they still wanted to know what happened to their son. They had the body exhumed, found out that his organs were missing and his body was stuffed with newspapers, and people are still trying to find answers. The officials down there in Georgia, they act like they don't know what's going on. There was another case out here in California. A young African-American man was found dead in Death Valley in the desert. All of his organs were missing. His liver, heart, lungs, kidneys, all gone. There's a case in the UK recently. A Somalian girl was brought over there for organ harvesting. They found out they were going to harvest her organs and they stopped that. There was another case in Asian couples. They went over to Africa. They adopted a black girl. 2 weeks later, she was dead. So these cases of organ harvesting are just going on all over the world, and people are being real quiet about it.
And here's another report I want to bring up in the Brazilian news. And this is reported on the Brazilian Report. And this article states, poor black men in Brazil could be forced to donate their organs. Now, this just coincides with what Trump just recently did when he just passed the bill back in July of 2018 of the Donation Clarification Act. And I guess this is why. So they can forcibly harvest your organs once they kill you. Get rid of you, because that's exactly what they're doing one by one. Back into the article. Poor black men in Brazil could be forced to donate their organs. And I will show you guys the bill that Trump just passed of the Donation Clarification Act. And I will leave a link in the description as well with it. And continuing in the article, on February 13th, newly elected Congressman Daniel Silveira put forward 2 bills to propose the casualties in police shootouts would automatically have their bodies harvested for organs. The line of people waiting for donors is long, slow-moving, and often good people fighting for their lives die, Mr. Silveira wrote in the caption on an Instagram post introducing the bill to voters. Now, when a police officer neutralizes a criminal, he can say with priority, I saved their life. His bill seeks to frame the donation of body of organs, body tissue, and cells as reparations for the moral and financial damage inflicted on society by crime. But in addition to being medically impractical, critics argue that Mr. Silveira's bill are unconstitutional and could signal a radical departure from the universal law of the presumption of innocence. Because this is happening globally to all the black, brown, and minorities. This is happening all around the world. Even in cold, hard times, it is happening. And I want to now take you into a most recent report that was just put out by CNN of a veteran died in police custody. Now, here's the report here on CNN, and it states, a veteran died in police custody. His body was returned to his family with some organs missing. 2 days before he died, Everett Palmer Jr. called his brother Dwayne to tell him he was on the way from Delaware to New York to visit him and their sick mother. But first he said he wanted to resolve an outstanding DUI warrant from an incident in 2016 in Pennsylvania to make sure his license was valid for the drive to see his family. The phone call was the last time the family would hear from 41-year-old U.S. Army veteran and father of 2. On April 9, 2018, 2 days later, the family was told that Palmer had died in police custody at New York County Prison. 14 months later, the Palmers said they still don't know what really happened, but they are suspicious because when Palmer's body was returned to them, his throat, heart, and brain were missing. And that's a shame. And this article was just put out June 8, 2019. They're doing this on a global scale to our people and the minorities. And it's going unnoticed, but we need to bring it to the table. Because as long as it go unnoticed, it's going to keep happening. And next, I want to take you into another report here on Americans' tax reform. And it states, organ donor shortage must be addressed. Our nation faces an alarming organ shortage. Every day, 22 people die because they cannot get a transplant, and the donor wait list is more than 121,000 people long. Depending on the organ wait list, can be up to 10 years long past the point a patient can survive. Not only does this lead to a loss of life, but this also drains Medicare and other social service funds, which ultimately places a burden on taxpayers. Each transplant can save an average of $745,000 in medical costs, of which 75% of the savings is to taxpayers. Additionally, a patient who has received a kidney transplant has an added 10 to 15 years when compared to those who remain on dialysis. If the supply of transplant kidney increased, taxpayers could save more than $5.5 billion per year in medical costs. The Organ Donor Clarification Act, introduced by the Congressman Matt Cartwright, addresses our nation's pressing organ shortage, and it irradiates the taxpayers' burden. First, the Act allows for the creation of pilot programs in order to test the promotion of organ donation through non-cash incentives. It should be noted that the legislation have no budgetary impact. It solemnly authorizes the creation of programs which must be approved through the normal processes. Second, this legislation clarifies that certain reimbursements such as travel or Medicare expenses does not constitute valuable consideration. Under current law, organ donors are prohibited from receiving any valuable consideration in exchange for their donation. This is meant to prevent individuals from selling their organs, but also serve as distinctive or otherwise prospective donors because they are prohibited from being reimbursed for common expenses. It is imperative that we address the nation's organ donation shortage, and the Organ Donor Clarification Act does so. It will save both lives and taxpayer dollars and encourage all members of Congress to sponsor and support the Organ Donor Clarification Act. As you can see, if you ain't willing to try to give it up, they gonna take it some way, somehow. Look at what they doing. They killing our people on the street and just take them. Parents receiving their children's bodies back with organs missing. When they're using us as cattle. And this must be addressed. Because if it don't, they can continue to do it and nothing be done about it. So something must be done about it. Something must be done about it. Well, You guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. And if you like the information that I share, you already know, like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for weekly reports that I bring to you each and every week with more and more true facts. And I'm out. God bless.